on. Snap, snap. Okay. We will call the Public Works Standing Committee meeting of Tuesday, October 28th, 2025 to order. Approve the October 14th, 2025 meeting minutes. Good.
We're like 3 weeks behind, aren't we?
Yeah, we,
I sent out the meeting minutes for
you weren't there.
for the two before, and then I wasn't here for the last one.
Right, and I think I sent them out just right after the meeting. Did you get a chance to look at those?
The only one we have on the agenda is the October 14th.
We had approved the last two at the last meeting.
Okay.
It's a long time, Jody.
Okay.
2 weeks ago.
I wasn't here, so, I mean, it seems even longer. They look great, good job. I move to
Okay.
approve.
Okay, I'll second.
Oh, they're there.
Sorry.
Yeah, did you? Okay.
Yep, see, look, oh, no, that's another one.
Okay, yeah, so
Yep.
we were supposed to tabled until next meeting.
Were we?
Yes.
Okay.
I should read my own minutes.
Okay, so approve September 9th and 23rd, meeting minutes tabled until next meeting. Okay, so I move to approve September 9th, September 23rd, and then the October 14th.
I will
Wait.
second. Let's just get these approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Public Works update, Mr. Maples.
Well, I was looking at our schedule today that I got, was pinned to my wall by my desk for the 16 bypass project, and, I pinned it up there when they started, and we ended right on schedule.
Cool.
So that was pretty
Yay.
cool.
So it's all done?
Mind
Well, we're
giving
not
me,
done.
Oh,
but,
okay.
what's the date of the start, just for my own,
What's that?
what was the
When did we
date
start
of the
that?
start?
I can't remember.
What
Second week of September-ish.
No. It was-
I can go back and look.
Doesn't matter, I was just curious.
No, I think that's about right. Thank you.
And then,
Second week?
So is White Avenue open now?
White Avenue's open, paving's all done, everything that's in the ground or on the ground is done. The only thing left withstanding is the pump building has been gutted out. We're waiting for, the PRV parts, and a lot of that stuff has long lead time. I hope they arrive sometime mid-December. We're tentatively planning to restart the project right after the first of the year. They'll just be working inside the building. Everything else got tied up. There's some areas that are still, like in the park where we tied in those water lines, so there's still, dirt that is seeded, so, everything's taken care of. One change that we're probably gonna add to, we're gonna add to it is the PRV that we're running on right now, which is just a smaller, unit, is out in the street, and it's where a check valve formerly was. According to the plan, we're renting that, until we get the new one done. We're just gonna go ahead and buy that as a change order on the project. It's only $8,000, and if we run it through the loan, we'll get half forgiveness, so.
And the advantage of that is if we ever have to work on the main PRV, we have the ability to just redirect it back through the temporary. We basically got some redundancy built into the system.
Yeah, and it's like, gosh, almost that much to take it out of there.
Are we still planning on that maintenance when it comes up that it will notify people, but it's not gonna be an outage again? Is that the latest estimate?
Right now, I don't believe there's gonna be another outage. We don't have to do a tie-in.
We'll notify people just because there's gonna be bubbles and.
It should be seen, no, there shouldn't even, realistically, there probably won't even be an air bubble.
all right, what is PRV?
We'll
PRV, pressure reducing valve.
Thank you.
I knew it was something valve.
So we now have, that used to be a mechanical system, that there was a pump down, so what used to be was a pressure reducing valve at the bottom of the hill that reduced the pressure, and then we pumped it up the hill.
Oh, good Lord.
But then the amount of water that you could get at any given time was basically limited by the mechanical things that were in there.
Right.
So the system that we just put in is the one that was identified literally when they started building the golf course. I think it was when in talking with Thomas when they first started on the spires, that they said, you must do this.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And so that got rid of the equipment down at the bottom of the hill. It's basically gravity fed
Mhm.
all the way to the top of the hill now. Even though that's uphill white, it's downhill from the water source up the canyon,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which means there's a whole lot of pressure there. So now what we have in place of all the pump to get it there is just a pressure reducing valve at the top of the
To get it to
hill,
the top.
so that we don't blow out water pipes. And the feedback I've gotten from folks is just that water pressure is slightly lower, and I said, that's absolutely right on, it's 49, it used to be 50.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think you can tell, but.
well, but they, some of them say they can. I said, I didn't get a chance to run it
Maybe
online.
the people right at the south end of Lazy M, but after that,
That's,
it builds
no,
pressure.
yeah, that's where they are actually, is on Lithium Circle, I think, so pretty close to that.
Okay.
So the objective now is not only that we don't have the mechanics in there, but we basically have the ability to put the flow through the pipe that the pipe can support, rather than the pumping water into the pipe can support. Did I get that close, Mike?
Yeah, you got kind of as close.
Go ahead, David.
I mean, basically, the golf course used to be hooked to the town tank,
Correct.
which is, everyone knows, is almost the same level.
Uh-huh.
So there's not much pressure there.
Right,
We disconnected it from the town tank and hooked it to the tanks way up
right,
Canyon.
waterworks.
where there's a lot of elevation. So basically, we made more pressure, and we changed the line size going to there from,
Okay.
So we still have a PRV at the bottom of the hill, because that's there to going in before it goes into the city tank.
that's what, when the city tank calls for water, that PRV opens up, it comes through the distribution system, and it's at a high enough pressure coming out of the PRV that it pushes water into the tank. And once the tank's full, it shuts off, and then the tank drains until,
So then the second question I had, which is tied to the good-looking sign that's up there, sitting against that, is, I don't know if that came through. When do we put that sign up, the one that says this project is paid for by and
no,
sealed?
I think it was supposed to have been up the whole time.
Okay, do we leave it up for a little bit?
Oh, yeah, we'll leave it up to the duration of the project,
And are we gonna put it on the side of the building?
probably. I just noticed it today. When did it show up?
I noticed it probably on Saturday.
And it might have been up down at the construction site, it probably was.
What does the sign say?
Where we turned everybody off so they couldn't go see it?
I think it
What-
was up where they had their staging area.
What sign is it?
It's a mandated sign that the funders, I guess, put up,
Oh.
and it
Yeah,
just
when-
says who's paying, who.
When they're giving you money, they want credit for it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, okay, lovely.
And I don't object to putting, that has lots of good information on it from our standpoint, as far as I'm concerned. Talks about the project costs and basically how little we paid for it,
Great.
oh,
and the
perfect.
other funding sources of it,
Yep,
Okay,
so.
nice.
yep.
There are still two signs on the main road up there on Brewery Hill that say trucks entering and leaving, that I think are no longer, they were there still this morning.
Oh, no, those are for the Alpine Basin,
Okay.
because they're hauling material in and out of there.
Okay. Then it's their job to make sure they're standing upright and doing something.
So other things going on with water, we got our sanitary survey, which is done every 3 years, I think, where the DEQ comes in and examines our water system. And we had a pretty good one. We had no significant defects.
Who, did you say did that, the DEQ?
DEQ does it.
DEQ or D?
And they go through everything, and they only had 3 recommendations, and they're all, real simple things, so, that went really well, so credit goes to the Erics for running a good water program. I don't know if anybody knows, but we have Hauser all tore up over on Fourth Street, we're redoing a service line over there that was, leaking badly on the city side. It was an old galvanized line that was probably put in when those houses
On Fourth Street?
We got our money's worth out of that one. The wastewater project is all wrapped up. I believe it's in the claims tonight to pay that off, for the lining of the mains and redoing the manholes. That project went really well,
Except we don't have claims tonight, so it's in the next batch, which will be in 2 weeks.
Okay,
It's in the paperwork, but claims will be out in 2 weeks. So Hauser, did you say how long that's gonna be?
we'll have it back open hopefully by the end of tomorrow. The project went really good. The general contractor was Vortech. They were the people that lined the lines. They did an exceptional job. CIP did the lining of the manholes. We had a few bumps and glitches with them, but overall it was good. From the bid price to what we actually paid, we were on the bid amount of work, I think we came in around $20,000 under the bid price, because we didn't have to do a few things that we thought we were gonna have to do. And then we added 2 other lines to the project, so we came in slightly over the bid price, but under the budget for the project. So it was a great project, and I feel like it stayed within budget. We got more done than we were planning on, and it went really well. Good things.
And on a related note, that's not there, we had a sewer rupture in this building last week. It came up and
Yeah, I
flooded the
heard that.
basement.
I heard we lost a lot of stuff.
Pardon?
I heard we lost a lot of files downstairs.
There's some stuff that's gone. So we have competing commandments. Thou shalt store all records forever, but there's another commandment that says thou shalt not store poop stained stuff.
Yeah.
And so we reached out and we have a different, so the short version is those same people, the reason I brought it up right now, is those same people are coming in to line the pipe and basically solve.
Well, it's a different company.
Oh, I understood it was the same people who did the lining, as who Brian said we're using.
We're using Cotters, I think, for that.
Okay, he told me it was the same people who did the other project.
You mean Vortex? You think it's Vortex?
Vortex gone.
Gone.
Is Vortex doing the lining?
No,
They
CIP
did
did
the
that.
lining on the
No.
main lines.
Yeah.
This is a little line. I
So
don't,
Cotter's doing it?
I think
Oh, I didn't know.
I may have misunderstood
Because when I
it.
sit up there
Yeah.
and.
Check with Brian.
Cotter's the one that gave us the price on
Okay.
And I'm like,
it, back a
Easy
few
to
months
spray.
ago.
I mean, we're taking care of the deep doo-doo.
So how are you deciding, I mean, was some of it salvageable, or was it all,
If it touched the water, it's not salvageable.
okay. And is there anything in there that we're gonna get in trouble with for losing?
No, there's extra paperwork involved that says this is why we don't have it anymore, and you have to log it, but they're taking care of that.
Okay,
What touched the water?
I know, that's gross. Well, it's the same with the flood, I mean, oh my God,
I
The
think it's a
paperwork
little
and the
worse than the flood, but
I know.
I
but
was out
just-
waiting in the flood.
There was like sewer water, you know, because it had come up through the sewer system. It wasn't
But
as
solution is
black.
the solution.
I know, it was awful. Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail it. I was under the
Okay.
understanding it was the same company. I thought I'd throw that out there.
stop me from eating.
On streets, we got most everything paid back that we tore up this year. Before paving season ended, we're gonna have, let's see, 3 spots that we're gonna have millings in. One is that new water line that went in by Moose Trails. That's part of next year's EDA project, and we just decided to put millings in there, and we can deal with it over the winter rather than pave it and tear it out 6 months
Again.
later.
So you'll pave it next spring then?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is bad form to bring this up now and not in our one-on-one, but I very much look forward to the call when you call me and tell me there's a white line on the street.
So we're getting to that one.
Okay.
Um,
I look forward to that call, and there will be donuts involved.
in the hierarchy of things over the last 6 weeks,
Nope,
that is not even hit.
nope. I understand, and I have very eagerly defended that. I'm just letting you know, I will be happy when I get that call.
He doesn't seem too concerned about it, Dave.
Nope.
He's gonna go out there with a little paintbrush. Here you go. There's your white line.
There's there's two other spots, the one we're digging up right now because it's too late to pave it on Hauser and Fourth, and then at Hauser and Seventh, where we disconnected lines running under the ice skate rink, there's a little patch that will get paved in the spring. So, other than that, the streets got tied together pretty well from all the digging we did. Parks, I'm not sure where we're at. I know Willie's cleaning up things, we got everything winterized. I think I missed the last Parks Board meeting, and,
There's one a week from tomorrow.
so I don't really have anything much on courts, and I think that's pretty much it. But, yeah, the other stuff we'll talk about, it's in the agenda. So that's it
Okay.
on update.
Okay, and on the stormwater PER, that's,
Number 4, that's coming
okay,
up.
so, okay, you're gonna hit that, and we'll decide if we need to have you there tonight or if not, or,
You can go ahead, 'cause I don't have, my sustainability report is like a sentence.
So, I think the stormwater PER looks pretty solid. There's a couple things I need to get with Bailey on. I think that what they identified here was accurate. I think the way it came out in terms of the preferred alternative and the decision matrix was that phase 4 of the wastewater project, which would be our next phase, would address sites 1, 2, and 3, and I do believe those are the areas where we need to be at in terms of stormwater as soon as possible. In a nutshell, site 1 is the stormwater inlets that are in Broadway, they're still tied to sewer. There's 4 intersections. I believe that phase, we will get some help from DOT financially on that. I don't know how much, but we will get something. Site 2 is basically, and you can, I don't know if anybody's looked at it, but it's an area of town like from McGillen kind of to Hauser, from 15th to 17th-ish. And we have numerous stormwater inlets that are tied to sewer in there. There's 2 more inlets that we've identified that didn't get into the PER, but I'm gonna talk to Bailey and Chad about that and make sure they are included in site 2, so they will be addressed. And number 3 is those drainage ditches that come off the hill. They run full of water, and what I've been told, it feels like they're running more water each year, and we have absolutely no way to control them. So they just come out of the hill, and they go down these little ditches. If something goes sideways, and it starts going across the street or into a house, it could present real problems. So I asked if we could, I don't know if we need to go capture that water and put it in the stormwater system, because I know people use it, but we're strategically gonna locate some stormwater inlets and main lines that, in the event of emergency or high water or whatever, we can capture that water and get it into the stormwater, so that we're not flooding houses, we're not flooding streets, we're not making ice in the winter. So those are the 3 sites that phase 4 was hit. And I like I said, I feel pretty strongly that that's where we need to go.
And those are all phase 4.
That would all be phase 4.
Okay.
I don't know, and I'm gonna go over those guys too. And prices for construction projects have been coming down a little bit from where they were post-COVID. The pricing's pretty optimistic to me. 2.1 per, that's quite a bit of pipe, but I haven't sat down and like hammered through it, but I will.
2.1 million?
Yeah, 2.2 almost is what,
And that's for all of phase 4?
That's what they're estimating.
Okay. I won't hold you to it. Okay.
Estimating.
But I kinda wanna go over that with them. My only concerns, not really concerns, my only additions to this would be, we have two inlets that are not identified in the PER that are tied to stormwater, to the sewer. And I just wanna go over the estimate a little better and see if it's realistic. And maybe it is. I haven't had a chance to really look at it, so.
And for this money, for the phase 4, is that gonna come out of the resort tax, or is it, okay?
We're probably gonna, I mean, this is just the planning, this PER.
Okay,
You know, it would, I'm guessing that quite a bit, we have money in that 1% that's totally stored, and that's what it's meant to spend on, so
Yeah.
that'll go towards that. It's penciled as a 2028 project. There's possibly time to go after some M-STEP grants or, the RGL grants, which are, you know, you usually get somewhere around $625,000 with those two. I think it would score high, it would be a good scoring project, because
okay,
we have stormwater going in the sewer,
right,
that's bad. So I think that might be a possibility, I don't know for sure. We're kind of, I don't think we can go back and do another stormwater loan, we're there on that one.
okay.
So,
So can I just wanna ask you a quick question. You said, you know, I understand I've seen the ditches with the water and stuff like that. Does anybody have water rights to that in town, or is it just
I don't know.
Runoff.
I mean, I think that,
like over by your old house on Adams?
I don't know. I'm trying to look into that. I think some people have claimed a right on it, which I think you can kind of do.
Up on
So a little
McGill.
bit of the conversations I've had with the actual irrigation companies is, that's not their water.
Yeah, that's not the irrigation company's water, or,
No, they
Okay.
don't, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of an urban myth.
There was only one, if it's that, like, coming down, what's that side street from McGillen, and it, like, runs into where my old house was on Adams.
22nd Street?
Oh, my God.
Is it 21st or 22nd? In there, 22nd, I think it's
And it
22nd.
starts all the way up by,
Yeah.
That just comes right out of the hill.
So, yeah, and that's
It's
the one.
not tied to a ditch anyway.
Okay, I never knew if it was like the ditches, when they were full, the water was leaking down through and
Oh, I
filtering
think
out,
I
or,
think it's coming through the ground,
okay,
but, you know, it's just, there's no head gate to go turn it off.
right,
My house.
yeah,
There's no diversion, it's just,
it's just there.
it's like right straight west of the apartment buildings up there off 22nd. There's actually a spring and it comes out of the hill and it goes two different directions. And then it actually comes back together. When it comes out of the hill, it actually goes north and south
Yeah.
through ditches. And then there's springs further to the north that come down and feed into that. And some of that water does go in the stormwater system. That was put in '85, they call it the hill drain. I have
Technical.
I have plans for it, so,
Okay,
Interesting.
I was just curious if we were gonna get into any, you know, if no one has actually filed a water right on it,
Well,
then we shouldn't
the
have an
the
issue.
plan isn't really necessarily to put all the water into the storm drain. It's to like the 22nd, when that culvert freezes up and water's going everywhere and making a glacier in the winter,
Right,
we can put it in the storm drain then.
right, nobody's gonna care, because
That is a weird.
they're not watering their lawn with it, and
And
they're not,
when it comes down there by Adams and 22nd, I mean, that goes right through somebody's yard.
yeah, I've seen it, yeah,
At that point, we don't have any control over that water whatsoever. It starts, if we get, and it's happened a couple times where it starts, we get a big rain or something, it pushes out of the ditches.
mhm,
This would give us a tool to handle it, rather than
Well,
you know?
and who's maintaining those ditches too, because if they fill up with weeds and stuff like that, then if no one's cleaning them or burning them, you're like, it's,
That,
The hill
that's
drainage
pretty much
system.
the PR.
thank you. And so you think that the soonest that will happen is 2028 for those?
Oh, that's what they have penciled in here, that's what they use for a budget,
Okay.
they estimated, they added 3% to today's cost for 2028 construction costs. Came out at 2.196402 is their estimate.
Cool.
And it would be good to do that. We haven't seen a whole lot of improvement at the wastewater treatment plant in terms of when it rains. We still get huge spikes. I think it's because we still have all these inlets tied in.
Okay. Is that everything?
Want me to just skip to the 50/50 sidewalk
Sure.
program?
Mm-hmm.
That would be
I'll
great.
make copies of this, but I didn't get around to.
Is that what you have?
I emailed
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah, I
I
got it pulled
got
up.
them a month, or 3 weeks, or 4 weeks ago, I got some stuff.
What's that?
I got some handouts you gave a month or so ago.
Yeah,
He just, sent them out in the email today.
well, I was kind of running through it.
Okay.
I just made a really crude document. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. It just says
Mm-hmm.
basically that the mayor and the council have determined the following incentive program in the best interest of health, safety, and welfare of Red Lodge citizens to encourage the construction and maintenance of public sidewalks for this community. The city of Red Lodge will establish an annual 50/50 cost share program coupled with the contribution of in-kind services to eligible projects within the city, subject to the commission staff force within, blah, blah, blah. Basically, the 50/50 sidewalk program, I have a start of an application form. The city will equally share the cost of replacing sidewalks with the adjoining property owner. Annual funding for the program is limited, it is on a first-come, first-served basis. Funding for the program will come from resort tax fund and will be subject to annual budget review by city council. Residents must submit an application to the city of Red Lodge starting, I just left it open and ending.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta figure that out. Applications must include a bid of cost for sidewalk replacement or construction from a licensed,
With the state.
an insured contractor within the state and the city of Red Lodge.
Does the contractor have to be from the city of Red Lodge? And do
No,
we-
but they have to be licensed to do work in the
Is
city.
that, read that last sentence again, because I just heard from, they have to be from Montana and the city.
Yeah, we can edit this. This is really rough.
Because we don't have copies, or I didn't see a copy of that. Did you say they have it?
Yeah, I
He
have it
did.
right now.
I think I emailed it.
Yeah, he just emailed it, like
got
about an hour ago.
Yeah, I got it while I was still at school,
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
After the application is received, the sidewalks inspected by public works staff determine if it meets the criteria for participation. Public works department will meet with the property owner and contractor, discuss the project. If the project meets participation criteria, that's not even a complete sentence.
We got you.
Public works will issue a work order which states the city will be responsible for 50% of the bid cost upon completion. And inspection by Public Works, contractor will issue an invoice for 50% of the bid cost to the city, I should add, and the city will pay the contractor directly. The participating landowner will be responsible for the remaining 50% cost. The work must be completed within the fiscal year. Criteria is sidewalk is crumbling, is causing drainage problem, has crack exceeding 1 inch horizontally for vertical displacement greater than 2 inches. handicap accessible sidewalks will be installed at every intersection to meet federal standards for slope and width. Replacement will be limited sidewalks, the length of the public right of way. That one needs a little work. Two inspections by public works staff will be required. The first will be when the sidewalk is formed and before it's poured, and the second inspection will be the final inspection when work is completely finished. Part two of the program is in-kind assistance for sidewalk replacement. The city may provide the following in-kind services to landowners, replacing sidewalks and adjacent public right-of-ways. Residents must submit the same application. Application must include a sketch of the sidewalk with dimensions. After the application received, sidewalk is inspected by Public Works. Staff determines if it meets the criteria for participation. In-kind services that the city will offer will be removal of existing sidewalk, concrete, and proper disposal, traffic control in the form of signage, provide barricades during the repair of the sidewalk, provide a list of contractors to do the repair work without recommending any particular contractor, and associated asphalt patches if required. Criteria for participation is sidewalk the same as before. And then public works staff will evaluate sidewalks adjacent to buildings individually and may decline removal if they believe the removal process may compromise the building in any way. City work shall be contingent upon the availability of the public works employees. City signs and barriers will be contingent upon availability of signage and barriers. And then point three is the things the city will not perform. City will not perform any of the following actions. We will not repair sidewalks. We will not do the grading of land prior to pouring the new concrete. We will not recommend any contractors, any particular contractor, or will we do maintenance of the sidewalk after it's repaired.
Okay. Oh, is that a lot similar to what you had in Shoto? Is that similar to what you had in Shoto?
Or,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much, the 50/50 part is pretty much what Shoro did, and then, the in-kind part is what the town of Lewistown does.
Okay.
And then,
A lot of them do it, I've got online, there are a lot of cities in the state that do it,
do what?
this, sidewalk.
yeah, my uncle was talking about it in
Yeah.
Lewistown.
Mm-hmm.
He brought it up.
I think there's one up in the Flathead Valley
Mhm.
town, Whitefish, I don't know, but it's,
Lewistown, they don't pay for anything, they just,
Mike, I apologize if I didn't hear it, while I was getting a hard copy so everybody could scribble their notes on it. One of the things we had talked about, or that you had recommended that I remember, is that we probably wanted to put a cap on it, so like,
oh, yeah, I meant to have that in there, I missed that piece of language, I was gonna put in there that projects over 10,000 will need something.
so we weren't necessarily ruling it out, but you may get moved to the end of the list and only be
Well,
available.
or just, maybe, I know, like,
So is that,
in
is it,
Shoto, if it went over 10,000, it was the public works directors could make the call. In Lewistown, I think if it's over 10,000, then the council has to approve it.
So over,
Over
So a $20,000 project.
Like a 20.
so it's really 10,000 worth of the money, so it's a $20,000 project with 10,000 match.
If the city can invest up to 10,000 without any special hoops, but once we hit that threshold, then we gotta have a.
And the idea is we don't wanna have one, and I'll pick on, IGA. If IGA comes in and say, we're gonna replace the sidewalks all the way around, boom, they just spent all the money.
And, one year, we had a project in Shoto that did that, and the council approved it, because everybody wanted it done.
right.
It was further around the Legion and the post office. So they were like, yeah, it was.
So
It's a very highly
Right.
used area.
So like if someone
That
says
have
it around,
a mass benefit for
But
people.
if
Doug
they-
Brown
but
Field.
that one did get bounced back to council to say, hey,
So first off, are you guys okay with having a limit initially?
Mhm.
yeah,
And then
Mhm.
if it's more than 10K worth of match, you want Mike to be able to approve it, or do you want it to come to council?
I don't know, does Mike want that on?
Well, I'm fine with it, I would probably
Ask him.
talk, I would probably pull everybody and see what everybody thought.
I think, I mean, we would just have to set some criteria, you know, is it max benefit? Is it a highly trafficked area where, you know, we're going to get,
Necessary, is it someone?
And the other thing is at the end of the year and none of the money got used.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
No,
Yeah, there's a lot
that's gonna be, in the beginning, I think that's gonna be a factor.
yeah,
It's gonna take a while for,
I
yeah.
hope we can socialize it pretty well, but, so, I'll go back to what do you guys want, council, or do you wanna push it off to the public works
Let's
director?
push it off, because, the six of us probably might not be familiar with the sidewalk, and you'll be familiar with it and make a better judgment than all of us
I mean,
tracing down.
yeah, I mean, if you want criteria, then council we could include that in here. You know,
Mhm.
but other than that, I don't think it needs to be council's decision.
I know this isn't the meeting to decide, to end all, be all decisions, but I'm concerned about commercial getting involved in this and hogging the money. I thought initially this was gonna be a residential help.
This is council calls. Do you guys wanna limit it to
No, I
residential?
don't think that, like I said, it's not the time to make a final decision, but I like the residential
I don't know,
aspect.
in Choto, the businesses really didn't use it.
No.
Well,
Once in a while they would, but for the
But-
most part, it was partly because, I don't know, even if, like, you think about it, you wanna tear the sidewalk up in front of your store in summer? Hell no.
No.
But then, like, I'm thinking, like.
And my 2 cents, if we've spent all $50,000 by the end of July, I'm gonna call this program a raging success.
awesome. Well, I have 3 people who want it, and, but, okay, but this is, again, I just feel for the people who have bad sidewalks in front of their house. Okay,
Yeah, well, but like, if you look at like the IGA, for instance, where it does share that side street with the residential, you know, on the other side.
on Villard.
Yeah,
Right,
you know, like I could see.
well, yeah, okay. And the other thing is, could a homeowner do it themselves? Is that,
There was a provision in the Lewistown one, no, in the Choto one, there was a provision for that. And we could, I could add it in there, what their thing was is that they said, I had it in there and I took it out just because it gets a little wishy-washy. But basically they said that if a homeowner wants to do the work themselves, that the 50/50 program can be used to pay for the concrete. That they
I
will
mean,
not
they don't pay themselves.
No labor,
Oh,
sure.
The
I
only thing
understand
you get to turn in is actual
I-
receipts.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I agree, but
And
I was
we
just
could
thinking
put
more,
that- We could put that back in there.
but the homeowner might not know what the heck they're doing.
I know,
That's
that,
another
you have
thing where I was
to-
like,
That's partly
oh.
why I took it out too, was because, you know, you got a professional sidewalk and a professional sidewalk, and then in between you got,
Yeah,
you know, Bubba went out there with a broom and screeded it, and it looks a little ugly, and then we're putting our money into that.
Right.
Is that-
I mean,
Is that what we really wanna do?
I've lived in 2 different places where I replaced a sidewalk in front of my house, and it was our family, but the person who actually oversaw the project worked for McDonald Concrete, and he was the one who came in and fixed it all, but he was a family friend, you know, so.
My 2 cents would be, I think it's kind of in line with what you were saying, is I would limit this to professional jobs, and if they decide they can do it cheaper themselves, just buying concrete, and do it
Yeah.
themselves. In reality, what we're doing is we're trying to make it so that it's as worthwhile to bring in a professional as to do it yourself. We're trying to
yeah,
make it-
because it is 50/50, you're right.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
you're-
So to me, you can do it yourself if you want, but if you wanna come to the city and have it professionally done,
Yeah.
because there's all sorts of guarantees and follow-up that happens there, our goal is to make it so you could, that's as financially enticing to you
Right.
as doing
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
yourself.
you're right, it's, we're helping them, but don't help them all the way.
Right.
Right,
So,
yeah.
is
More
this
incentive.
half of the group is inclined
Yeah.
to say professional only?
I would, yeah, it's just too iffy.
Have you met my dad? No, yeah, definitely hire a professional.
And like
Well-
I said, this is just the rest of the council's input.
Like,
Well, no,
so,
I had to do it, and then I had the same thoughts going through my head, and I highlighted it and hit delete and just took it out.
Yeah,
So-
but it's good just to get it out, so we know why we don't wanna do it, you know.
well, and there's a difference though between having a professional lay the concrete, and then if you have like a skid steer and you can do, you know, that part of it.
Everybody has a
Versus-
Kelly.
But what happens?
I know, not everybody has a
You
brother.
know,
and
what
sister
happens
right
if,
Not
you know,
everyone
they
has
go
Kelly.
hunting, they can't finish it, or, you know what, I'm just saying,
now. Go hunting. I don't know.
whatever people do.
Well, we do say we want them to have,
Fishing.
we do say we want them to have insurance. So if you have insurance to, you know, to do it, and that's what your main profession is, then you're a professional, you know, hopefully.
Yeah. Well,
I don't
anyway,
know.
it's
Cause,
just a lot to
where's
discuss.
where's that insurance part on here?
It's under,
I just put in there that be licensed and insured.
Licensing
yeah,
from
And-
a city
And at some
entity.
point, I think that we, as maybe the Public Works Committee needs to revisit some things like some standards of, if you wanna come in and Red Lodge and dig in our public right of way, or dig near our water or sewer, or dig to our sewer, we need to have some standards that they have to be able to
There aren't any?
be at in order for them to be allowed to do it in town. And I think that the same could apply towards this program.
Got it.
And I don't know.
do we not have like, where you have to have certain liability
Well,
insurance and,
I had to go for the peak cannery, they were asking me for some stuff, and I kinda asked around and I didn't find anything, so I just kinda lined out what I thought they
Mhm.
should be at. And I ran it by Dennis, and he said, oh, that looks really good, and I said, so I'm okay, and that's what I gave him.
well, I mean,
It would be nice
anytime.
to have something like that, that was here when they got a business license to work in Red Lodge, they look at this, and, or when they get their business license, they bring in their $1 or $2 million insurance policy, they bring in the fact that they are
Their
a
bond.
state licensed, yeah. So
I think if they're gonna, I
I mean,
think we
it-
could require a bond if they're getting near our pipes.
And it's not really gonna be a big thing for anybody who's been doing this and is decent at it. It is gonna be the weekend guy that started Bob's Handyman or whatever.
Right.
It may stop him, I mean, 'cause we had a Bob Handyman dig up a water line a while back. You know, it was painted blue. And he's like, oh, I thought I could take one more scoop.
Oh, boy.
No, you're not.
Well-
Does that need to go to council, or can we just do that from a policy?
You-
Cause I say, if they're near our pipes, it requires a bond.
Well, you don't necessarily need a bond, they need liability insurance, because if they damage the pipe, it's under their liability
Mhm.
insurance. Bonds are for, like a performance bond, or for a street opening bond, that type of thing. Those are different, liability insurance.
What if they quit halfway through their project and don't?
That's a performance bond.
I love having insurance agents on council.
And you don't, the homeowner, whoever hires them would require the performance bond.
Mike, let me ask you a question. Can you, resolution or ordinance,
You have to be,
I think it goes into city code, so we probably do it as an ordinance. Can you write together a draft of what you think?
Yeah, I
That would
just
like
take
and
what
bring
I
to this
sent,
group?
I'll take what I sent the Peak Cannery folks, and their contractor didn't have any problem with all that, they just boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 got it all done. And I'll have Dennison relook at it, make sure, and then that'll be my draft.
yeah. And I mean, every other city does it. Every other city requires, if you work in the city, you know,
I don't
to have,
if we may, but I just,
well, the bigger, like Billings and stuff like
kinda
that, they
asked,
all
you know, like,
require
so-
postmen.
this guy's to come in here and get the city of Red Lodge business license to work in Red Lodge, right? And they're like, yeah, and I said, okay, is that where you check his insurance? And they're like,
And
"No."
I can answer that, because we talked about we're working on the business registration ordinance right now, and we've been working on it for years. And when we first set changed the fees for those a couple years ago, we talked about that. And, city staff at that time didn't want to be responsible for checking to make sure that they had insurance.
And have license.
And, yeah, and that they had their independent contractors, you know, their license, they were, you know, registered with the state, and, you know, I didn't think it was out of line, and it would protect our citizens from, especially, you know, after we have a big hailstorm and we have the fly-by-night people coming in and doing roofs. You know, to make sure that they have insurance, that they have, that they are registered with the
But
state of
we're just getting
Montana.
copies of it, not chasing it all down. We could just get copies of what they have right up front.
Right, but you would say you can't get you can't register your business in Red Lodge unless you show you have insurance
You have
and
all
that you're registered with the Montana Department of Revenue and the Secretary of State and wherever they need to be
I don't think
registered.
that's an undue burden on staff.
Okay, well, then we can add that to admin and finance on the business registration part as well, so.
That's protecting the taxpayers, I don't have a problem with that.
I know, I didn't think it was either, but,
And I don't mean the taxpayers individually, I mean all the other taxpayers are gonna have to.
well,
clean it
and
up.
what you have to realize is that someone may come in with their insurance, but it doesn't mean it's gonna stay in force, you know? They can pay a month and get their certificate, and then it's done, and it cancels. But if they wanna renew it, they have to show it
But
again.
that's the conversation I'd rather have with the judge. That's the conversation you have with the judge. Well, we checked and verified, they canceled it afterwards.
Yeah.
That's not gonna bode well for them.
Or do you wanna actually list the city of Red Lodge on their policies so the city gets a notice that it canceled, and then you pull their registration because their insurance canceled? I mean, you can take it that far.
Intense.
But I mean, that's just it. If you're asking for that, then if it cancels, do you want to be told so you can say you're no longer registered to do business in the city of Red Lodge because you don't have insurance?
I look forward to seeing how council decides that issue.
Yeah, but what if they're
I
halfway
have
through it?
just one, maybe last question about this, because we, are all these cities still doing this program, or did they just throw up their hands?
I don't know about Lewistown, I mean, I pulled it up off their.
Okay, I'll look into it too. I just was curious
I
if they,
don't
if it
know
was, they, too much
Okay.
trouble or
Funded with
not enough
SIP
takers.
That everybody pays on their taxes.
Anyway,
I have a question
Yes.
on page 1, going back to the sidewalk improvements program, where it says licensed and insured. Do we want to say that they have to provide a guarantee of some sort, or what is standard? If somebody comes in, if I hire a professional contractor, does it have a 1-year guarantee? And maybe that, part of that's for you, Mike. What is normal? If you come for my sidewalk, I want to know that if it cracks 6 months from now, you're coming back and fixing it.
Warranty.
Dave,
There's no warranty.
concrete cracks.
Yeah, concrete cracks.
Where's the one by mine?
There is that, I mean.
Yeah,
So we don't want to make that if they're licensed. and
They're
insured, we're done.
not gonna guarantee your sidewalk's not gonna crack. Especially with the weather in Montana.
No,
They'd laugh at you. I'm like, cause I poured a big flat in my back.
We could put some design standards in there.
Yeah. Like how many,
Must have rebar, mesh or something.
yeah, and how deep, how many inches of concrete do you want? you
I
know?
keep thinking of more questions, so we need to talk about this
No, I
sometime
think,
at
I
length,
think it's
but,
good everybody has a hard copy.
But,
I would like if everybody sat down and chiseled some notes on the corners, fix my bad grammar.
Yeah, but I think
And add whatever you
if-
think, and then.
if you would
then
set
Bring it back
some,
next week.
I mean, set some standards for sidewalks in Red Lodge, you know, how many inches, how deep do you want it, how wide do you want it, how, you know, how many patches, you know, how many feet for each section, so that you're not pouring one great big long one that will crack right away. Things like that, and how, and when you're pouring, when they're mixing the concrete, I mean, there's different levels of how thick it is, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you
Versus-
can go as little or as much as you want, you can get down to what TSI concrete they use,
Yeah,
they
I mean,
will put in expansion joints or that, all kinds of stuff.
yeah, so we should have like a,
But then you wanna
minimum.
be careful too, because, sidewalks they're not foundations, they're not,
right,
there's a lot of sidewalks, majority of sidewalks in town probably don't have any steel in them at all.
no,
And they're
no,
still good. They're not, they're
And that's fine, but like,
If
I
we
mean,
can put design standards provided by City of Red Lodge, you tell us what those are.
Yeah.
We'll think about it.
Well, it's exciting.
yeah, it does,
We just don't wanna make it where,
people
$4,000
don't,
sidewalk then became a $6,000 sidewalk, meet our standards, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
yeah, no, absolutely, no, I agree
But at
100%.
the same time,
but-
what we'd also like is if somebody walks down the block, that there's some level of consistency that they go
Yeah.
through.
especially with the width and how the, yeah.
You know, one thing that, I don't know that's where you wanna go or not, but like when MDOT comes in, if you get a sidewalk grant from them for in your town,
Yeah,
you have to take out all the boulevard trees. They won't put in a sidewalk with boulevard trees, because boulevard trees are upside down.
yeah, the root, well,
You know, there's all kinds of things you could, you know.
And it may be because you've got in here that you're meeting with them in the project, you're meeting with them before they do it. So that's where you could say, this is how wide it's gonna be on yours, because that's how wide it is on both sides.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of it's gonna be, like, just looking at it, you know, nothing, there's no recipe to fit everywhere in Red Lodge.
right,
Because, you know, you can't say we want 5-foot sidewalks everywhere,
well, and if,
tying into a 3.5-foot sidewalk.
well, and if you, like, for example, over on, I think it's Hauser, where the sidewalk's like this, because there's a big, you know, tree there, and it's, the root is there, would we be willing to use half of this money to tear, you know, take down that tree, that there's no way they can put a sidewalk there because the root's there?
We've got that same thing, I wanna say it's on flat right here, isn't it?
No, it's all.
About 2
Yeah,
blocks north.
you know, if they decided that they wanted to
I
do
think
that.
that's one where, when Public Works goes over and looks at it, would say maybe we would include some language in there, but that could be part of the criteria and say, yeah, this is eligible, but that tree root's gotta go, and if you take that tree root, that tree's probably gotta go, so.
And are we gonna cover half that cost in this?
Okay,
Okay, so this does not
We'll-
cover,
We'll, then, no, because we wanna put sidewalks out there. We'll go to the next person in line who doesn't have a tree and do their sidewalk.
does not
But
cover.
we want concrete, that's.
okay. That's what I was just asking, because it would be part of a sidewalk project to tear down that tree, but we wouldn't pay 50% of that. Okay. Okay.
Make it part of a PNRC funded urban forestry
We
project.
might be able to help them out, but yeah.
But,
Okay, but it wouldn't come out of this
no, I
money.
think we stay focused on what the intent of this is, and that's to put down some concrete,
Perfect. Okay.
so we have good walking surface.
Madam Chair?
Yes, I'm sorry, anything else that we absolutely need to cover today? Because we
We
are,
don't need to talk about sustainability. That's, no,
are you good? Do you want to do your one sentence?
no, it's not even that, worth that.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
So our stormwater PER, this is gonna be up for action in 2 weeks. What questions are you guys gonna have, or, did you guys get the link online to it? I got a link, but I noticed, I thought I understood that you guys got a link, because it's not in the packet. I've got to make sure, I've already got a request out to make sure that it's online for everybody.
Here's I can give you this.
I think
This is
Swan.
the executive summary from the beginning of the 394 page.
Stormwater PER, here's the link to the website.
So you guys got that has the
I
link
did.
to the website, then?
Yes.
Maybe make some copies of this. It's,
Well,
Is this the 300 pages?
how many pages, this just the first?
Yeah,
let me
it's
get
like
this back to
300
you in 1
pages.
second.
no, you can just have.
No, I have it, Mike, I got the,
Right? City,
But yeah, I
yeah.
think that kind of.
393 pages.
That's why
There's a whole lot
it's,
of fluff in a PER that you don't need to read.
393 pages?
but it's basically
Like,
what you.
What kind of birds live in Shoto?
Don't disrupt our crows and magpies.
my.
But that PER is exactly what you were just talking about, correct, with
Yeah.
the sites,
Yeah,
okay.
that's 1 through
And I
5.
think, what they identified
Together.
is good. I think the way they scored it was good. I think the only thing that I caught my eye was there's a couple inlets that they missed that I would like to include into that site 2 portion of it. And
So, do we do those changes before we approve it?
it'll be hopefully it'll be done before the final. I don't know when, are you guys voting on it in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be done before that.
Okay,
And it's not a big deal, I just gotta add,
a couple things.
I gotta make their little
Okay.
map go a little bigger.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll get this online. And the problem is that says page one, I'm trying to, what I'll do is I'll print
Oh, my God.
a couple copies
9
of
through
it.
14 is the executive summary on the PDF.
It's what?
If
9?
you go to print PDF, you wanna
Yeah.
go page 9 to 14 is the executive summary.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yes, page 9. Holy
go.
You
Hannah.
might check that and make sure. Sometimes
That's where they get the big bucks, is to write 300 and some pages.
For
Yeah,
real.
they get paid by the word.
Do they? I'm kind of wondering, or the picture, the graphic?
You get paid by the page, I think.
Clearly.
390, is it 394 pages?
393.
390.
So what I'm gonna do is, I will have the executive summary in the packet
Okay,
next time. You guys will have a hard copy of it tonight,
yep.
and then it's available online.
Do, you won't be at the meeting tonight, correct?
Do you guys need him at the meeting, or do you?
No, we just need to I took notes,
I'll be-
and you
I'll be at the
understand what it
next
is
one.
too, so. right?
Sure.
You always know. You know, I took minutes, so, I mean, I took notes on it, so I can explain it, I guess, and,
I think I'll be
Jason.
here when you vote, and
Yeah,
Craig Williams
it'll-
will be here.
It'll be there next time.
we'll just let them know this is for,
It's
you
a
know,
planning document, it's nothing,
yeah,
I mean, if we,
for the
And where's
fourth
the- where's the
phase
money
that
for this
includes
coming
3
from?
sites.
And what's it costing us?
this was paid for with a grant. I get messed up on which PRs, like some of our PRs we're doing right now are totally funded because we're able to double dip. Others, we only got, I can't remember whether it's 25 or 40 to do the document. So if this is one of those, then the money's coming from a planning grant from the state, and then the rest would come from the 1%.
From the stormwater fund. Do you have any status updates for us on the, I'm gonna say hookup fee study, that's not what it is, build-out study?
Oh, yeah, I met with Lee last week. We had a very productive meeting. He met with Brian.
That's because he
Came
was
back
well
and
rested after his
I
first
met
class
with
flight.
him again after that.
You said it, not me.
He said he had a good meeting with Brian. I think one of the main things that will help streamline it is trying to get cadastral caught up, because cadastral's a little slow. We have a lot of lots that, and it's surprising, because I've been going out and checking them, that say they're vacant, but they're not. So basically, we're trying to identify all those, and then once identified, then he'll go back to Brian and say, what was built here, because he should have the records.
You should, it's the key term there.
And,
Not everybody gets a building permit.
no, I thought it went real well, went good. So I've got a little app on my phone now when I'm driving around, I just, oh, where's the vacant lot? Oh, yep, it's vacant, or nope.
It sends you straight to cadastral, the app does?
No, we have a
No,
separate app.
It's just for us.
That's a cool app, that'd be cool,
Sounds fun.
yeah.
All right,
If you will give us the afterwards, I will help you, because that's the same one we're using for the trash cans.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
Anything else before we adjourn the meeting, since we are out of time?
I'd like to just know if the garbage can thing was helpful to your
Yeah,
mind
no, it
and
was-
what
it
you were
was-
thinking, and that's kind
It
of what.
was good information.
Okay,
definitely.
all right, all right.
And we will, continue working on that as we run out of time today.
Okay, cool.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.